for still staying with the flow of Godson State, Flow 94.9 FM. It's still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. And like I told you from the get-go, it is going to be in patches. The first is done, and then we are into the very second phase of the platform this morning. Let's go straight into it. Since the inauguration of the President Bola Tinubu administration, and we know the date, don't we? Nigerians have keenly waited for Mr. President to comply with the 60 days timeline to constitute his cabinet. And while it seemed time was ebbing away, the list was yesterday forwarded to the Senate by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. As expected, reactions has continued to trail the list, especially regarding the names who made the cut. Well, we'll take a cursory look at this very list, just opposing it with realities obtainable in the state, especially as it affects the leadership architecture of the ruling party in the center and one of the opposition parties in the state. And joining me to do justice to this very phase of the platform this morning is Chief Ezeala and the APC's Abia State Publicity Secretary. Good morning. Good to have you on the platform this morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Abia. Good morning, Flo. Good to be here.
All right, let's delve into it too because of time. That very list that a lot of Nigerians were actually waiting for, it looked as though it's going to take forever to be unveiled, has now dropped. Let me get your initial reaction. I'm very certain you've taken a good look at the names of those who were put in that very list. What do you make of the list?
Well, first of all, you will agree with me that politics goes with a whole lot of intrigues, especially during the primaries, the general election, and of course, after the election. A lot of people claim to have worked for the party in their various states, and of course, the result left much to be desired. So that explains the seemingly late arrival of the list, because it is not just enough to be an APC member in your state, and then expect your name to just appear automatically as a minister. So I support or rather I'm happy with the fact that the president had to sit back and make sure that those who worked for the victory of this presidency are rewarded, and also besides their party loyalty and of course reward for loyalty, the president went a step further to ensure that capable hands, like indeed people who have been tested and trusted, within the ranks of the party, are not just rewarded but also given much, better assignments to carry out. You can see that from the caliber of men and women he had chosen eventually, judging from the first 28 names he sent to the Senate that was read yesterday.
I'm curious because you said the president and of course those who worked alongside him to unveil this list must have taken their time to look at those who actually worked for the party and of course the success of the All Progressives Congress in that very election earlier this year, and the fact that your candidate in the state in terms of your governorship candidate in the state seemed to have been snubbed in the first 28 list. Are you simply insinuating that because he actually contributed little or less, whatever way you want to describe it, that he has now been snubbed by the leadership of the party?
Well, of course, the record speaks for itself. And you and as well as other Abians know very well that when the governorship candidate held sway and the party, we gave him the maximum support. We worked. In fact, I was at your station severally to defend the manifestos and policies of the party. But you see, elections have come and gone, and the party will have to move on. We must continue, marketing those great ideals that we thought, would be given a chance, here in Abia, irrespective of what the outcome of the elections are. Then just opposing it with what just happened with the ministerial list, the governorship candidate, I don't think he was interested in being a minister. To the best of my knowledge, I didn't. To the best of my knowledge, he never. I didn't see him campaigning for that. He never told me he wanted to be minister, and so we cannot rightly say that he was snubbed. Okay, it would be very uncharitable and unfair to think that the governorship candidate was snubbed. Mind you, he is in the tribunal, against the victory of the current governor, Dr. Lesoti. So you cannot, it doesn't also go that he will be in the tribunal and at the same time want to be minister. Okay.
Okay. Let's still stay with that very list now. And it appears there is a spread across the geopolitical zones by that very list. Would you say Mr. President has gotten this one spot on, taking a graphical look at the nominees, 5 from Northwest, 4 of them from Northeast, 4 from North Central, Southwest have 4, and of course the Southeast can boast of around 5, which of course includes the former member representing Isukwato Umunochi, Honorable Nkeiruka, Onyejeocha. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and that of the South having around 6 persons there. Would you say he was spot on in taking his time to come up with this list? And maybe the reason it took this while?
Yes, you see, like I said in the prelim, the president must have taken his time to find out who really worked for the party across the states. Now, let me tell you this. By the time the second or the last batch of this ministerial list comes out, you will notice that there are states that would produce more than 1 ministerial candidates or nominees. Okay? There will be states that we even have up to 3. Okay? And if you ask me, there are even some states that don't even deserve to have a minister, if not for the constitutional provisions. Because you see, we must understand how politics works. People must reap where they sow. Okay? There should be reward for loyalty and hard work. Okay? People don't sabotage your efforts during elections. People don't go in for the campaign funds from Abuja. People don't just go grabbing all they could during the election, and after the election, there is no result, nothing to show for it, and then you come and make them minister. I love what he did in Rivers. He picked a PDP governor, the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and nominated him as minister, because even though he was of the G5 in PDP, he worked assiduously for the Asiwaju presidency. Look at in Enugu, the young man Uchennaji traversed all the corners of Enugu State campaigning for the president. You see him everywhere. He spends so much money, I can tell you. You look at in Anambra, the Uju Ohanenye, the same thing. They personally made sure that the candidates of the party in Anambra, delivered 25% in their various places that they won, except the places Now in Abia, I don't need to tell you what happened, because you were here and you saw it yourself. A lot of people were masquerading themselves as candidates of the party, whereas they cannot even deliver their polling unit. They could not even deliver their ward. Neither could they deliver their local government. No matter, even including those who were the highest, candidates who fight the highest offices under APC. So the president, Asiwaju, know who works for him. Okay. Don't forget that even in Abia,
if you don't mind, it appears you are seemingly supporting those who actually worked against their party just because it has paid off duly for your own party now. Really, the likes of the leader of the G5, Nyesom Wike, who conspicuously worked against the People's Democratic Party in his state and ensuring that he went towards the direction of the president at the moment. Now, don't you think he could be a threat in the future, giving that very that appeal for power, and when it doesn't come, you seem to react vigorously? Don't you think so?
Now, all over the world, every life endeavor is hinged on one principle: and that is sowing and reaping, and that is also give and take. Then in computer language, it is called the input and the output analysis. When you join all these together, you will understand that there is need, an urgent need indeed, to reward people who work. Okay. Even the Bible supports that every worker deserves his wage. The question is, in Rivers State, did somebody work for the emergence of President Tinubu? The answer is yes. Who is that person? Yes, Wike. In Abia State, did somebody work for the emergence of President Tinubu? The answer is yes. And they are being rewarded. APC has a senator. APC has a House of Reps in Abia. And then APC now has a minister nominee from Abia. These people work for President Tinubu. If there is anybody who is crying foul in APC anytime, any day in Abia State, check well, that person is that man who didn't work for the party.
Now, in the light of the foregoing, Chief OK now, and you've mentioned something quite critical, which I would love us to talk about. We must have to be frank to ourselves. You're a party man, and yes. for us, the media and the listeners who are out there, they know what your party has looked like, especially in the build-up to the election, after the election, and all of that. And it seemed to be this tussle about who the true leader of the party is. And then I'll just put that to you straight away. Who do you think is the leader of the party in the States now, with Honorable Nkeiruka Onyejeocha now nominated in that very list? Right Honorable Benjamin Ezeala, member representing Benda Federal Constituency, and of course the Deputy Speaker in the House of Representatives. Not even talking about Senator Onyejeocha, former Abia State Governor, equally in the mode, especially in the state. Why do you think the pendulum is swinging tonight in terms of leadership in your party and of course in the States?
You see, kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, and everybody know that you cannot remain forever on any position. Change is the only constant thing in life. Now, coming down to the party, there is a constitution which is a guide for every party loyalist, for every party operation. The party constitution stipulates that the highest political office holder elected is the leader of the party in every state. Don't forget that very word, that clause, elected. Okay. The highest elected political office holder is the leader of the party in the state.
Come down to specifics now.
It now says that where there is no elected political leader in the state, the highest appointed political office holder becomes the leader in the state. What that simply means is that as we speak today, following the virtues of the constitution of APC and following the ground norm and even following the procedure since democratic governance in Nigeria, the current leader of Abia APC is none other person than Senator Oji Uzo Carlo, Right Honorable Benjamin Okeze Carlo, and the next person who is the minister now, Right Honorable Nkeiruka Onyejeocha. Politically, constitutionally in APC, these are our leaders as we speak. Then if there is another person to be appointed, the person will join the queue, being number 4. Okay. That is what the party constitution says, and there is nothing Ezeala can do about it. There is nothing Flow FM. There is nothing anybody, even our listeners, can do about it. That is the party constitution.
Hilarious.
And we abide by it.
Hilarious, the point you mentioned, Flow FM. I mean, you could have done that without saying it, but it's okay. Before we go, we must have to be frank as well that the job is enormous. If they eventually skill the test of the take a bow and all of that, if they scale that very test, the job is enormous. It is of immense importance. It is sacrosanct that they get the job done, especially to deliver on the promises made by the president prior to the election. And of course, as things stand, he is the president of the entire nation. What should Nigerians expect from them? And do you think they are capable of bringing the returns? I mean, the return on investment.
Yes, if you look at the emerging leaders now in APC and even the following and also the newly nominated ministers, ministerial nominee, because they become ministers after their confirmation and swearing in. Now, you notice one thing about all of them. These are people who are coming to rejig the foundations of our democracy as it is. Look at the executive and what the president is doing. Look at the legislature. Look at the judiciary too. The CJN has refused to be shaken or be distracted, and he has given ample time and independence for all the tribunals. Look at what is going on. And they are taking a direction that is in tandem with the expectation of Nigerians. That is a kudos for the judiciary. Look at the executive too. The president has even gone as far as taking strong decisions even without having the Federal Executive Council in place. Okay, removal of subsidy, bringing out palliatives, and now there's something striking about that policy. The moment Nigerians started shouting and expressing their disappointment or the hardship occasioned by that policy, he halted even the 8,000 proposed palliative to be given, and then choosing to channel those funds where they will be more useful to Nigerians, and then creating more jobs even before forming the Federal Executive Council. Now, the same thing with the ministerial nominees. Look at them one by one. I can tell you for free, my brother, there is no rep member in the history of Abia State who has worked as much as Right Honorable Nkeiruka Onyejeocha has done in Isukwatu Munochi. Go and check. This is the only rep member that has done over 30 roads. 30 roads. Can anybody call from in this program? It's a live program. Let them call from Isukwatu Munochi. 30 roads, giving scholarship, foundations, doing a lot. Now, the same thing in Bende, the same thing in Abia North. Dr. Joseph Okalo, in fact, it is Dr. Joseph Okalo that now opened our eyes to know that a senator can actually construct roads. Look at what is happening in Abia North. That is why during every election it will seem as though Abia North is opposed to PDP or any other political party. It's because of the goodies, because of the quality of leaders we have in Abia North. And I encourage other senatorial districts to key in, of course, with special recognition to our brother of the new senator, Darlington Nkeiruka. He also tried when he was in the House of Reps, the mini stadium and other things he did. So he's also a typical example in Abia Central. So you can see I'm not being biased here. What I'm saying is that people should expect more. We want development. Gone are the days of politics of personal interest, politics of hate speech, politics with bitterness and rancor. Gone are those days. It doesn't exist in Abia State, and we will not encourage anybody to bring it in. If we had made mistakes in the past, I am glad the same people are in the forefront of making changes, and we can see it in the new leadership positions they have.
Time to open up the phone lines. I'm going to reserve the very last bullet for the back end of the program now. Phone lines open 080818264949 or 0811605249. What do you make of the list unveiled yesterday by the Senate in the wake of the ministerial list? What do you make of the constituents of that very list? Do you think they are capable of bringing the desired change all round and the manner they were nominated? Good morning. Good to have you join the conversation.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and go ahead.
My name is Nkeiruka. I'm calling from Ezeala Squad. Good morning to your guests in the house.
Good morning.
You've really said it all. Actually, from Nkeiruka, she really tried. For the past 16 years, she's been there. Though she tried only when she joined APC. All through her 12 years in PDP, she didn't do anything for the people of Squad. But to be frank with you, I'm from Ezeala Squad. Go and check. Ask anybody around there. But when she joined APC, in her last 4 years in APC, she did marvelously well. I'm close to her from the president of the House to the minister. In terms of Onyejeocha, you see, during campaign, Onyejeocha equality campaign, he was busy commissioning roads while others were doing campaign. That was why we elected him back to be the Senate of Abia. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you. Let's take another call. Good morning. Do call back 0808182694 or 08116052949. Good morning. Name and location. Go ahead.
Good morning, Ethan. Good morning to your guest.
Good morning, my brother.
I'm calling you from them. Yeah, can you hear me, Chieftain? I don't agree with your guest. He always emphasizing on the reward, who work and after this kind of mindset has been our problem. And if we do it as reward, how sure are you that the person you are rewarding will deliver? This has been a problem. Looking at governance as if it's a reward system because this person in campaign, whether he's qualified or not. After election, we face governance, and when we are governance, we should look for people who are qualified, despite being loyal and listening. I don't agree with theory. I think the such should be discarded in our political system. We are talking about moving the nation forward, nation building, not about reward. And because this person is loyal to me, whether it's qualified or not. I don't think such should be considered, again, moving forward. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Alvan. Let's take another call. That got away again. 0808182694 or 0811605249. When you're calling, kindly tell us your name, where you are calling us from, and just go ahead. Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Wisdom Thomas.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ezeala. I'm calling from Mubakala. Yes, my concern actually is see this recycling of leaders who have been there before now. For me, it has been a problem because we know they have antecedents and we know most of them, we know their track record. They've been governors, they've been all manner of things, and recycling them. What happens to the young generation? Are you trying to tell me there is no more hope for the young generation in the Nigerian system? It is, I think, for me, it is a very bad precedent we are setting. It is just not right. Hands should be given to the young generation to lead, to be in the place of leadership. They have so much to offer. Enough of these old,
okay.
eggs and recycling them.
Thank you very much. The comments on Facebook from Ezeala, he says, honestly speaking, President Tinubu's ministerial nominees list and their names didn't surprise me because it's evident and crystal clear to see that you must support and work for political parties during elections campaigns in order to gain appointment. He says, I'll call this government a compensational, biased and favoritism there. I think that's what you want to say. Thank you very much. Now, Alvan had raised something closer to what I had reserved for the last, and I will just throw it at you quickly. That would definitely be your last words on the program before we leave. It is evident, like you've explained, that these persons, a crop of them were those who supported the party during the elections, and here we are, bang on. The president has emerged and he's trying to compensate them by giving them these kind of opportunity to serve. Does it still leave the president in a position to equally call them to order subsequently? Because it's a results-oriented business. If they're not living up to billing and expectation after being nominated and after a couple of months or years, do you think the president would still have the cojones? I'm talking about the courage and the capacity to call them to order.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Well, you will agree with me that since 1990, since the Fourth Republic, since 1999, President Tinubu happened to be the first presidential candidate that was not.
I would appreciate you to be quite snappy because time is ebbing away now.
Okay. You agree with me that President Tinubu, right from the day of his nomination, even before the general election, was never afraid or scared of anybody. If you follow all his campaigns, all his comments,
you will notice that he knew he was going to win election owing to the popularity and the goodwill the party has garnered, especially in northern Nigeria and the southwestern Nigeria. Of course, we have our issues here in the southeast and some part of south-south. So we already knew that since Nigeria territory is not limited to southeast, we knew that APC was going to win the election. So anybody who is made the minister today knows already that the president, the head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, is not a pushover. Is not somebody you are coming to deal with and then he will allow you be. Because even from onset, he knew his mission statement and he has been pursuing it vigorously. Okay. So I'm sure the ministers are going to key into the policies of the program in humility and of course in loyalty to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I can assure you that President Tinubu will not leave any stone unturned in making sure that the right thing is done in the
Let me sincerely appreciate you, Chief Ezeala, APC Abia State Publicity Secretary, Abia State APC Publicity Secretary, putting that better there. Thank you very much for speaking to us on the platform this morning.
Thank you, Flow FM.
All right, you have a lovely day. And thank you for calling in, my dear listener. Thank you for your contribution via our feedback platforms on Facebook, the SMS line and all that. But this is where the cookie will crumble on the platform this morning. Sincere appreciation to Steph, who is here, being very contributive to everything. Stanko and Charles behind the visuals on Facebook. Thank you very much. To my producer, Samson Eze, thank you. Ginika Oloha, thank you as well. My name is Wisdom Thomas, and I will be leaving the studio now. Have a lovely weekend, and bye-bye for now.